Have you ever wondered what makes a Rolls-Royce, well, a Rolls-Royce? Is it just the eye-watering price tag, the spirit of ecstasy ornament leading the way, or is there something more? Today, we diving deep into the incredible story of a brand that has become the absolute pinnacle of automotive luxury. This isn't just a story about cars. It's a story about two very different men, a shared obsession with perfection, and a legacy that has outlived them both. So buckle up, because we're about to take a ride through over a century of pure, unadulterated excellence. Our story begins not in a fancy boardroom, but in a humble workshop. Meet Henry Royce. Born in 1863, Royce had a tough start in life. He began working at the age of 10 after his father's business failed. But this early hardship forged an incredible work ethic and a mind that was obsessed with making things better. He was a self-taught electrical engineer, and by his late 20s, he had his own successful business making electrical components like dynamos and cranes. But Royce was a perfectionist to his core. He bought a French car, a de Cauville, and was utterly unimpressed. It was noisy, unreliable, and just not good enough. So what did he do? What any genius engineer would do. He decided he could build a better one himself. In 1904, in his Manchester factory, Henry Royce built his first car, the Royce 10 horsepower. It was a masterpiece of engineering. Unlike other cars of the era that shuddered and roared, the Royce was astonishingly quiet and smooth. He didn't just assemble parts. He improved every single component, driven by his personal motto: strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. This car was about to change his life and the automotive world forever. Now, let's switch scenes to London, to the world of a flamboyant and adventurous aristocrat named Charles Rolls. Rolls was the complete opposite of the working-class Royce. He was a daredevil, a racing driver, and one of Britain's first aviators. He was also a savvy businessman who owned one of London's first car dealerships, selling imported French and Belgian cars. But Rolls was a patriot and was frustrated that Britain didn't produce a luxury car that could compete with the European giants. He was searching for a high-quality, reliable, British-made car to sell. A friend of Rolls, Henry Edmonds, had seen Royce's new car and was blown away. He knew he had to connect these two men. So in May 1904, one of the most famous meetings in automotive history took place at the Midland Hotel in Manchester. The reserved, meticulous engineer met the charismatic, high-flying salesman. Royce showed Rolls his 10-horsepower car. Rolls was skeptical at first, but after a test drive, he was completely converted. He was stunned by the quietness and the quality. Legend has it, he turned to Royce and said, "I have found the greatest engineer in the world." Right then and there, Rolls agreed to sell every car that Royce could make. Under one condition: they would be called Rolls-Royce. And just like that, the partnership was born. They officially formed Rolls-Royce Limited in 1906. Their strategy was simple but brilliant. Royce would focus on building the best possible car, and Rolls would use his charm and connections to sell it to the world's elite. They didn't aim for the mass market. They aimed for kings, queens, and titans of industry. Their first truly legendary car was the 40/50ths of a horsepower, which would soon become known by a much more famous name. One of these cars, the 13th one built, was painted silver and christened the Silver Ghost. It was sent on a grueling 15,000-mile reliability trial, a distance unheard of at the time. The car completed the journey without a single involuntary stop, earning it the title, "The Best Car in the World," from Autocar magazine. The name stuck, and the Silver Ghost cemented Rolls-Royce's reputation for unparalleled reliability and refinement. For over 20 years, it was the only model they produced, a testament to its perfection. Tragically, this powerful partnership was cut short. In 1910, Charles Rolls, always the pioneer, became the first Briton to die in an airplane crash. He was only 32. It was a huge blow, but Henry Royce, now joined by the brilliant managing director Claude Johnson, who was often called the hyphen in Rolls-Royce, carried the company forward, fueled by their shared vision of perfection. During World War I, Rolls-Royce shifted its focus from the road to the sky. At the government's request, Royce designed his first aero engine, the Eagle. It was a V12 powerhouse that proved to be just as reliable and superior as their cars, powering many of the Allied aircraft. This move was pivotal. It established Rolls-Royce as a major player in aerospace, a part of the business that would become just as famous, if not more so, than its automotive division. After the war, they used this expertise to create the legendary Merlin engine, the engine that would power the Spitfire and Hurricane fighters in the Battle of Britain, literally helping to save the nation. Back on the ground, the post-war era saw the introduction of new models like the Phantom series, each one bigger, more powerful, and more luxurious than the last. But Rolls-Royce never sold a complete car. They sold a rolling chassis, the engine, drivetrain, and frame. The customer would then commission a specialist coach builder like Mulliner or Park Ward to create a unique body for it. This meant that every Rolls-Royce was a bespoke creation, a personal statement of wealth and taste. This is where the endless customization we see today has its roots. The Great Depression hit hard, but Rolls-Royce survived, even managing to acquire its rival, Bentley, in 1931. The story goes they did it to stop Bentley from competing against them, especially at the 24 Hours of Le Mans race. Henry Royce passed away in 1933, but his spirit of perfection was deeply ingrained in the company's DNA. His ghostly initials, the double R, are on every car. Originally red, the badge was changed to black after his death as a sign of respect, a detail the company maintains to this day. After World War II, the world changed. The era of commissioning custom coachwork was fading. So in 1946, Rolls-Royce began offering its first complete car, the Silver Wraith, with a factory-built body. Models like the Silver Cloud and the legendary Silver Shadow followed, becoming icons of the 50s and 60s, owned by everyone from rock stars like John Lennon to royalty. The Silver Shadow, introduced in 1965, was a huge leap forward with its monocoque construction and advanced hydraulic suspension. It became the best-selling Rolls-Royce of all time. But the 1970s brought trouble. The company had invested heavily in developing a new jet engine, the RB211, for the Lockheed L1011 TriStar jetliner. The project was plagued with massive cost overruns and technical difficulties, pushing the entire company into bankruptcy in 1971. It was a national shock. The British government had to step in and nationalize the company to save the crucial aerospace division. The car division was separated and sold off as Rolls-Royce Motors. For the next 2 decades, Rolls-Royce Motors continued to produce cars like the Silver Spirit and Corniche, but it struggled to keep pace with technological advancements from competitors like Mercedes-Benz. The cars were still handcrafted marvels of leather and wood, but the underlying technology was getting dated. By the late 90s, the company was up for sale, and a fierce bidding war erupted between 2 German giants, BMW and Volkswagen. What followed was one of the most complex and bizarre deals in corporate history. Volkswagen ended up buying the entire company, including the crew factory and the rights to the Bentley brand. But there was a twist. They forgot one crucial detail. They didn't own the rights to the Rolls-Royce name and logo. Those belonged to the aerospace company Rolls-Royce plc, which had a close relationship with BMW, supplying them with jet engines. In a masterstroke of negotiation, BMW secured the rights to the Rolls-Royce name for its cars. For a few years, Volkswagen was building Rolls-Royce cars at Crewe, while BMW held the name. It was an impossible situation. Eventually, a deal was struck. From January 1, 2003, BMW would take over the Rolls-Royce brand completely. They built a brand new state-of-the-art factory in Goodwood, England, and launched a completely new car, the Phantom. It was a triumphant return to form. The new Phantom was a modern interpretation of classic Rolls-Royce values, imposing, silent, and exquisitely crafted. It re-established Rolls-Royce at the absolute summit of the automotive world, a position it has held ever since. Today, under BMW's ownership, Rolls-Royce is thriving. Models like the Ghost, Wraith, Dawn, and the Cullinan SUV have expanded the brand's appeal to a new, younger generation of ultra-wealthy buyers, while still holding true to the core principles of Henry Royce. Every car is still hand-built in Goodwood, with near-infinite customization options. You want your headliner to look like the night sky on the day you were born? They can do that. You want the interior wood trim to be from a specific tree on your estate? They'll find a way. The story of Rolls-Royce is a story of contrasts: the engineer and the aristocrat, the workshop and the showroom, financial ruin and triumphant rebirth. But through it all, one thing has remained constant: an unwavering, obsessive pursuit of perfection. It's a brand that has never compromised, never chased trends, and has always defined what luxury means. It's more than just a car. It's a statement, a work of art on wheels, and a living legacy of two men who dared to create the very best. Thanks for joining me on this journey through automotive history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.